Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Zach Ryan for IGN, and I'm here with Alex Solomita.
What's up?
A good buddy of mine and a big fan of the Arkham series, and we're here to rewind this awesome new Arkham Knight trailer.
Yep.
So let's start at the start. Let's go ahead and head back here.
Rewind it.
Yeah.
Rewind. All right, 15 seconds in, starting the rewind.
That's right. So obviously, we open up with a little VO from who we'll find out is Poison Ivy, but this first shot, let's stop here, is Harley Quinn. And she's holding what looks like some sort of awesome
Mega blaster.
mega gun slash potentially grenade launcher. I don't know.
Which it's different from her hammer. She normally has her hammer.
But
so
this is suggestive to me that she's probably taking over the Joker's role. You can see here she's got a legion of Joker-esque dudes out in front of her. So it seems like she's obviously the shoe-in for that role.
Yeah,
so.
and we'll see later. We'll call it out when we see it. But we definitely see that there are still the Joker's henchmen in this world. If you don't remember, spoiler alert for the second game, Joker dies at the end of it. Or does he? But I mean, they made it seem like he's dead.
Rocksteady has a pretty heavy history of trolling pretty hard when it comes to the Joker in these games. So you never know, but it seemed like a pretty definite ending to that storyline. So let's keep going here.
Yep.
So we're gonna see a whole rogues gallery here: Two-Face, Penguin, Riddler.
Yep.
And then this is really interesting to me, right? So.
I'm going to forward a few frames.
Sure. So this is the first trailer that we're seeing the Scarecrow being introduced as, like, the main villain.
Yeah.
Up until this point.
He's always been, like, a side guy.
Even given the title, like, the Arkham Knight has been sold as, like, this is the main adversary. But here you've got a shot of the Scarecrow coming in, and it looks like the Arkham Knight is kind of in tow, right? Like, maybe he's a henchman of the Scarecrow, which would kind of make sense in this game, so.
Playing it out.
And here's Firefly.
Yep,
right?
he was in Origins.
That's right.
Yep.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea.
And here's Poison Ivy doing the VO.
That's a pretty typical supervillain line, right?
Just gonna rewind it to the Scarecrow's. Look at that. He's got his full what would that glove?
Like
I guess
hypodermic claws. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I thought was particularly spooky from the first game when they reintroduced all these character redesigns. Like that's pretty terrifying.
Yep.
Like. Not only is he like a bad dude to begin with, but now he's got full-on hypodermic needles attached to his hands. So,
yep.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
Some logos.
Yeah, these are logos. So, obviously, we're seeing a huge version of Gotham in this game, and the Scarecrow is given a little bit of a. If you keep playing it here, he's talking about. How he's taken over the city, right? So you see the Joker's henchmen.
Joker's henchmen. So they're still in the world. These are Two-Face's henchmen.
Right.
Yeah, there's Two-Face. Yeah, and then Penguin. So they're all vying for position. It seems like, and sort of seems like Scarecrow's taking the lead.
So this is really cool. Well, it's not really cool, but it's really interesting that it seems like Scarecrow is definitely got control over this version of Gotham, and he's kind of granted asylum to all the criminals, and they're just taking out the police force. So it really seems like even more so than in previous games, there is no other law outside of Batman.
Yeah.
So and here we see the man himself looking grim.
I just wanted to pause it because now stuff's about to go down, and we're about to see Batman do Batman things. Yeah. And it's about to get really awesome.
Typical Batman stuff.
Yeah, I'm really excited about some of the fighting and moves we're about to see.
Yeah.
So. Here he goes. Yeah. Batman's like, no, you didn't. Yeah. Those are classic moves.
So it looks like he's taken out henchmen here. Now, in this previous frame, it looks like he's taken out maybe the Arkham Knight's henchmen here.
Yeah.
Because they have like similar armor. But you can see a lot of these like super cool grapple moves, and just watching this combat, you can definitely tell why this game has an M rating as opposed to the T ratings that we've seen before.
100%. And you can tell that, some of the moves already they're very familiar.
Yeah.
Rewind it again. Like, even him just jumping off this and landing, that's classic.
Yeah.
Those grabs and that hit down, that's an ending.
So one thing, if you run it back here, go back to this theater scene, right? So here's that right there.
Yep.
Boom. So Johnny Charisma is a name that keeps popping up in these trailers, and there's a lot of speculation online as to who this character is. Earlier, we see him in a billboard where he's just kind of looks like some sort of performer, and there's a lot of speculation that maybe because of the frequency that they've been hinting at this, like maybe that is the Joker under a new guise, or maybe he's just somebody that's fulfilling that sort of role. But the fact that he's mentioned so many times in this trailer and in previous trailers kind of leads you to believe that there's probably either some sort of extended side quest like these games are known for having, or something a little bit deeper, which I think is super cool. And I love Rocksteady for putting stuff like this in their trailers. You know?
That's a great. And also, speaking in the same exact scene, we have the Batman who is in the middle of a fight. This looks like it's all player controlled right here, and he's about to jump right into the Batmobile.
Yeah,
this was seamless.
Yeah, that was one of the first things that was shown off about this game was the seamless integration of the Batmobile, and it looks so
not
awesome.
Surprising at all right now, but this is just another look at it, and it looks like it is going to work really well.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's play that out.
Boom,
Yeah,
right into the car. Yeah, and away he goes.
Yeah, and it seems like there's going to be some fighting in the
too.
car. Yeah,
yeah. So this is something that we weren't previously super aware of, but it looks like there's going to be some pretty intense car chases, like car on car, hot car on car action.
Batmobile super gadgets, which is going to be great.
It's going to be very cool.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I really want is to be able to see if he has the grappling hook from the car.
Yeah.
And possibly even drive up buildings with
it.
That'll be
really
interesting.
Awesome.
Yeah. So here we keep playing this out. And here's more with the fighting, new moves.
This is so awesome.
Yeah.
So let's rewind that and take a closer look at that, because he uppercuts this guy into a shell from the Batmobile.
Yeah, this looks like one of those new upgradable gadgets. That's so cool.
How much pain is that guy in?
It looks like one of those bags. So those he stunned him. But this is interesting because in the past Batman games, or from the first one to the second one, they've always gave you the moves that you unlock, so you didn't have to start from scratch like most video games. It's like no, you're Batman. You already have these abilities. We're just gonna keep adding onto it. This looks like one of those things that maybe they still start you off with all your moves, and now they're going to add on top of it with new moves because they have a new piece of equipment that you're actually playing with.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. That
awesome.
They don't take anything away from the old experience, but they're just adding on top of it.
Yeah.
So
here we see more cops getting in on the action.
Yeah. Again.
So that whole sequence there with the car is something that really. This is something that really gets me stoked. One of the best things about the Arkham games is the locomotion, the way you travel across the world. And this ability to launch out of the car into combat or just across a city, it's going to be so cool. And this is really awesome, too.
Look how
because
big that city looks.
Like, for as big
massive.
even as big as Gotham was in Arkham City, this looks so huge. And I love, you're still seeing a lot of Easter eggs. Like, if you look back here behind Batman right now, you can see a billboard for the Vicky Vale show. She's a recurring reporter in the series. So there's plenty of nods to the comics and to previous Arkham games, which I think, it's kind of a staple of this series at this point.
What is that big building behind him? Do you know what that is? The one
to the right,
with the one essentially in the middle with the red lights. That.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like that's like some sort of maybe citywide alarm system or something is going off here.
All those red lights look like there's something. I don't know. I'm excited. Oh, now we're getting good looks at all the characters.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
This
Riddler.
is really cool too. So he's jumping off Wayne Tower there, but I think one of the cool things about all these straightforward looks at the characters is just how different their design is here from the previous generation Arkham games. And one thing that's really cool is you can see that there's a lot of differentiation. One thing that always kind of bugged me about the older games, I think partly due to the Unreal Engine, is you kind of had these bulky characters, and these characters, their design looks awesome. They look way more realistic, even more so than in the previous game. So
we're really seeing that next gen show through. Yep.
Yeah. There's the Gotham globe in the background. And then this is kind of a cool shot.
I'll go back to that globe real quick. Where is it? I missed it.
Keep going forward.
Keep going forward.
Yeah. Right there, you can see the Gotham globe, which features pretty heavily into, Batman lore.
Yep.
And then
keep playing.
This is awesome because I feel like this is sort of the nod that I was hinting at earlier. They're really making the Scarecrow out to be the main adversary in this game, which in a game called Gotham Knight is a little bit, or Arkham Knight, sorry, is just it's kind of crazy that this trailer is so focused on Scarecrow. I think he's a cool villain. I really loved the battles in the first game, and I think that it's really great that they're going to bring him back and play a bigger role here.
Well,
so.
yeah, I'm glad that I feel like I'm getting that experience where it's not just going to be those mini games that were fun, but you didn't really fight Scarecrow ever.
Right.
Now you're actually going to be able to, it seems like, hopefully be able to fight him in just a whole different way, because the Joker has his way that you're battling him, and Hugo Strange, it was you were sort of battling. It was more piecing stuff together and figuring it out. I mean, but battling Scarecrow could be very just interesting and cool.
Yeah, and I think all of his fear toxins and stuff will probably play pretty heavily into this game. So I think it'll make for a really interesting adversary, especially if it's kind of a switch off between him and the Arkham Knight. I think you'll probably get two very different styles.
Yep.
So
what villain that was not shown in the trailer do you want to see in the game?
Well, one thing that's like pretty interesting is this whole like gathering of super villains that we're seeing here kind of going after Batman reminds me a lot of Nightfall from the 90s, that comic run. And I think that in that particular series it was masterminded by Bane. And here it looks like obviously Scarecrow is kind of heading up this charge. That's really creepy.
That's another great creepy looking Scarecrow.
Scarecrow's kind of heading up that whole cater of villains, and but Bane, he's absent. So I'm kind of curious. We also don't see Killer Croc. We also don't see Mr. Freeze.
Killer Croc was one of my favorite fights. It was a running on those platforms or whatever in the sewer, and like we didn't actually get to like fight him. If I felt like I wanted to actually like fight him. I hated fighting Bane. He's always just annoying. You got to do the same thing, and you're like, let me pull the thing. I mean, I love Bane though, but So I just God, I was so excited to see this trailer today, and it really did not disappoint.
Yeah, it delivered. I think for as far as the speed at which the trailers have been rolling out for this game, this as the new like tentpole trailer, I think it's awesome. It's giving you a lot more information about what's to come, and it's nice to see that there's going to be just as many villains as we're used to in the Arkham series, and it'll be kind of a nice bookend to the whole series.
Yeah,
I think.
to their trilogy plus an Origins. Yep. So
definitely.
Yeah.
That's the whole trailer, and for everything else Arkham Knight and Batman related, you're already in the right place. IGN.
Batman.